What is up? I have something interesting to teach you today. Beware the woman in the white dress, and this is not to be mistaken for the woman in the red dress. That's something entirely different. This, the woman in the white dress, is an analogy, a term that I've just come up with, and I want to help you today. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I don't want you to have to go through what other men have been through. So what is the woman in the white dress? It's a woman who plays to your fantasy of finding a good girl. And there are lots of girls who do this. This is why I've called it the white dress. Imagine, like, what's the man's fantasy? A lot of men who are watching this kind of content, we're all increasing our SMV, we're growing. This is like our level of growth. We've built the body, we've quit the addictions, we're starting to make money, we're being productive, we're leveling up our character. And of course, as you level yourself up as a man, your standards also go up. Your standards in who you would want to date. And often, what is like a high standard for a woman? Who are the women here? Think about them. What are the women who are deemed as high quality compared to low quality? One of the biggest things, which a lot of people are scared to say, but I'll fucking say it for us, is purity, which is basically the opposite of being a 304, as kids on the internet call it these days. That automatically makes a woman higher quality. And there's other things, like, for example, you want her to be ambitious, you want her to be kind of whatever. But this is one of the biggest indicators that a woman is high quality, that she has increased or more purity. In other words, she has not slept around. That's what men find attractive. So, in your quest to level yourself up as a man, you use this as motivation. I don't know if you've realized that or not, but maybe you need to admit it. One of the reasons why you're so motivated to level up, if you've made a lot of progress already in this self-improvement journey going from Jeffrey to Adonis, I promise you one of the big reasons is because you want a higher quality woman. Whether you've realized that or not, that's one of the reasons. So, this is the scenario. We're ambitious, hardworking young men. We've disciplined ourselves away from those vices that keep most men mediocre, which is the 99%. And we've become kind of like the 1% of men now. Because we're getting into the 1% of men, our standards for dating have gone up, and naturally we want a woman who has more purity. Okay, so then become the 1% man and just get her. But how do you know which woman has purity or not? How do you know which woman is a hoe or not? And this is why this concept is so insidious, because the woman in the white dress is a woman who basically acts as if she has purity, acts as if she is a good girl, but she's not. Hoes are honest. Like, I want you to think of a complete hoe. You might remember one from school, you know, some girl on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. They're actually kind of honest people. Like, if you meet a genuine slut, and I don't even say that to be offensive, that's like the real term to use. They're actually genuine. Like, they're actually such honest people. They like to fuck, and they'll tell you up front, and they won't beat around the bush. And, you know, they won't pretend to be a good girl. They'll even like joke about having lots of sex and whatever. And you might think that's like, you know, that's wrong and whatever, but they're honest. That's something that men actually really value. The problem with the woman in the white dress is that this is marked by her dishonesty. She is a girl who is not a complete and utter hoe, but she's also not the sort of unicorn. Imagine if this, okay, 0, that's purity, right? This is the unicorn, this is the wife. Up here, let's say this is 100. This is like, okay, absolute, complete and utter, like absolute cum dumpster, right? Prostitute, basically. And let's say the standard, very extremely sexually active 304 is maybe like a 70 or something. Which, again, you know, she's an adult. She gets to make her own decisions. And if she's honest and stuff, okay, sweet. You can't actually like hate her for that. The woman in the white dress will act like she's either a 0 or maybe like a 10 or a 20. You know, probably about 10. She'll act like she's like a 10 on the scale of 0 to 100, of 100 being a hoe. But she's actually more like 35 or even like up to 55. This is the danger zone, because these girls, when you think about it, they basically are hoes, but they will fight you to the death to try to convince you that they aren't. So if we say 100, absolute 100, it's not even a hoe. Like, hoe would be here, to be honest. 100 would be like a genuine, like, it's her occupation is sex. Like, she's a prostitute, she's a porn star, for example, and we're talking over 100 body count, for example. This is massive there. A hoe will have like a 30 plus body count. These girls here who pretend they are the good girls, they will have more like close to about 10, which is huge. And I know what you're thinking. Wait, but Hamza, like, the woman's body count, the man's body count, whatever, whatever. We're not going to get into a debate about double standards or anything here. We're just going to talk about the standards that men have. And most men deem this too high for the woman that they want to take seriously. You can absolutely have like fun with these girls, whatever, but this is too high for the woman that you want to take seriously. And most men know this, and actually a lot of women know this. The problem is these women know this so well that they will pretend that they are actually here. They will act like they are girls who are down here, when actually they have got a lot more sexual experience and a lot more degeneracy than you realize. So that's why this is so insidious, is because when a girl is so far gone, like these ones here, they'll actually be fairly honest with you. They'll even tell you what they do. They'll even tell you that they fucked a lot of guys. And then you'll know, okay, fair enough, I'm not going to marry this girl. I'm not going to really date her seriously. These girls are so dangerous because they can pretend, they can wear the mask of a good girl. And really, it's not the mask. The better word would have been the costume. The costume of the good girl, which is, when you think about it, what's the costume of a good girl? Like, close your eyes and imagine we're like, I don't know, directing a play or a movie. What would be the costume that the actor who's playing a good girl would wear? It would be a white dress. Of course it would. It would be a white dress, and she would try her best to look as traditional as possible, to tell you that she's like a traditional girl, to tell you that she wants to get married and have children, to tell you like, no, I don't really go out. No, I'm not talking to any guys. No, no, I'm not a hoe. No, I am not a hoe. I've not been out. The reason why girls will fight this is, one, because a lot of these girls who wear the white dress, they are genuinely dishonest, like manipulators. They are like a lot of those girls know what they're doing. They know that they won't be taken seriously by a lot of, sort of high tier men at this stage of their sort of impurity. So they'll literally use manipulation tactics to make you believe that they are here. And this is not spoke about enough, by the way. Men's abuse to women is so widely spoken about. Men financially abuse women, physically abuse women, men do this, men do that. But women's abuse to men is hardly ever spoke about. A lot of women, you have to please, like, just keep this in your mind, right? A lot of women are really, really, really good at manipulating men. They are really, really good at it. A lot of women have basically practiced it. Like, they literally know what they're doing. And the women in this category here, the women who wear the white dress, they by far are the most manipulative. And so those women will basically lie to you. They'll wear the costume and they will fight to the death trying to convince you that they are the good girl, who it's more like here. Like the good girl will say is someone who's, she's not a massive hoe. Maybe she's had like a boyfriend before. She's never had a hookup or anything like that. She doesn't go out. She doesn't have a ton of male friends. She isn't cheating. She isn't talking to males when you're in a relationship with her. That's like what we'd deem as a good girl, right? Right about here. And these girls, the danger girls, are the ones who have fucked around a lot. They have, not like, not a crazy amount, but they've had like 4 or 5 hookups in their life. They've had 1 or 2 official boyfriends, but they've also had about 2 situationships. Guys who basically they were fucking long term, but we're not in official relationships with them. And you've got to watch out for these girls, because you are on this path. And previously, you were just not attracting that many girls at all. So this wasn't, it wasn't something you had to worry about. But as you keep leveling up on this path that I've got you on, from Jeffrey to Adonis, you will encounter these women. You will. Because you're also going to become not just like an attractive man, but you're going to become a strong man, where you will literally have conversations with women you'll literally tell girls you like the good girl archetype, you're traditional, you want a family, you want this, you want a good girl who doesn't go out. You'll have the confidence to start saying that to girls. When you're a weak guy, you can't really say that to girls. But when you become a strong guy, you can literally say it to girls like, no, I don't like girls who go out, whatever. And a lot of girls will be like, yeah, I don't go out. I don't go out. I don't have any male friends. I don't text males. I don't do this. I don't do that. And please just believe me when I tell you, some of the girls who say that to you are just completely and utterly liars. Now, here's the thing. You might meet the unicorn. Unicorn is what we'll say is the ultimate good girl, like unicorn. That's like the good girl that you actually want, where, for example, she's had zero sexual past, she's had zero male friends, she's never even been out to like a club or a party, degeneracy, she's never taken like drugs, you know, she's never been offered drugs and taken them for free from like other people in the party, you know, like that degenerate haram environment, right? A unicorn is a girl who's literally extremely pure, and obviously that comes from the strong father figure in her life. You want her. And this is, you know, it's a 1 in 3 billion woman, really. If you meet her, okay, fair enough, endgame, congratulations. And, you know, you've still got to learn how to love her and whatever, but like, okay, fair enough, that's the goal. The problem is a lot of girls will pretend they are this girl by wearing the white dress, and they'll try to convince you, and they will literally lie and say to you, oh yeah, like, yeah, I've never, not really, no, I don't really date around much, no, you know. And the way they'll talk about it, your male brain will think, oh, okay, so she's only had like 1 or 2 past partners, but the truth is she's had more, like 10 to 20. But she literally will lie to your face. When the unicorn tells you, like, oh, I don't have any male friends, of course not. This girl will tell you, I don't really have any male friends, but she literally will have about 10 to 20 in her phone right now that she is texting. She is lying to you. One by one, like each thing that you actually want, these girls will literally be able to lie to you, to deceive you, just be completely dishonest, to make you believe this. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because a lot of guys on this path, unfortunately, they will fall for this. You will fall for this, bro. I meet your good girl like every day. I meet like your unicorn, right? Unicorn with the quote mark, right? The girl that you would think is a unicorn. I meet them every single day, and it's only to a guy like me that they tell the truth, and they, you know, laugh about these things and they tell me these things and whatever. But to you, I like, just please believe me when I say this. I promise you, there's a lot of girls that I've met who you would actually think, holy shit, this is like a wife quality girl. This is a wife quality girl. There's girls I've met who you would think is the wife quality, but I actually know aren't, because either they've told me the truth, or, you know, like I've just got this sort of intuition, and then I end up finding out like, oh yeah, like 3 guys from my gym have fucked her, or that guy's fucked her, or, you know, she's got this like 4 fucking male friends who are all trying to sleep with her right now, whatever. The woman who's a good girl for you, men like me, like men who have got, you know, to the extra high level, we actually can tell, oh no, she's not. So just imagine that. Imagine you could spot the hose, right? You know this. You could spot the actual full on like 304, the full on hoe. You could spot, of course. But when you meet the girl who wears the dress and she tells you what you want to hear, you would fall for it and be like, oh my God, that's a wife quality girl. She's the first girl who said that she wants a family. She wants a traditional relationship. She's against hookups. Wow, that's amazing. You think, oh my God, that's amazing. And imagine if like me and like, you know, like other guys at this level of awareness were in a group chat with you and you showed us her. And one of like, you'd imagine like one guy replies back to you saying like, bro, like my friends fucked her. Actually, 2 of my friends have fucked her. I'm telling you, this happens so often, like to a crazy, crazy level. And in fact, this actually happens more to guys like us, of course, because when you are leveling up from Jeffrey to Adonis and you've got standards and you let it known what your standards are, the girl who wants to be with you and also she doesn't want to be shamed for being a whore will actually say to you, oh yeah, exactly same. Because, you know, you'll act like this is the right way. You'll act like, you know, a woman who doesn't go out, who doesn't drink and party and suck a lot of cock. You'll act like that's a good thing for girls. And the girl that you're speaking to will basically agree because you're a man and you're stronger than her. And so you will basically start to like, you'll start to see the fantasy inside of her. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not some despair, sadness, sad boy thing of me saying like, oh no, every woman in the world is a fucking whore or something. No, of course not. Let's be logical here. There's billions of fucking people. Of course, not every woman is like this. In fact, the women who make up this sort of white dress is actually quite a low population because they're quite, actually, you'll meet a lot. You'll meet like 5, 10, 25 women like this in your life. How many of them you date and take seriously, who knows? But like, there's of course good women, genuinely good women out there. But there are also bad women who are masquerading as the good women. And as you keep leveling up on this path, you need to pick up this new vague skill of being able to tell what is the real wife quality woman and what is the woman who's wearing the white dress. The white dress is what we're calling the woman who wears the costume of the wife, but she does not behave like one. So now let me help you more. And let's talk about how to like prevent a girl like this from ruining your life. How do you actually know which girl is the white dress kind of girl, and how do you know which girl is the wife quality girl? Because I don't want to just give you anxiety in this video, make you think, yeah, women are all hoes and there's no good women or anything. But you need to know how to spot the difference. Because if I walk you through a couple of ideas I've got for you here, then you'll be able to very quickly just think, oh yeah, shit, okay, I know that she's actually the white dress kind of girl. Hamza was completely right. And the first thing I'll tell you is, if you are the type of guy who should be actually watching this channel, this is my advanced channel, it's just your gut intuition. You will literally speak to a girl who will tell you these things, and in your mind, she will slip up telling you slightly something, like just some little detail she'll tell you, right? And in your mind, your brain will automatically say, she's not a wife. It's only then, after this, because of scarcity, because of emotions, because of validation seeking and lust, that you will override that feeling and think, you know what, she's actually wife quality and she's really special and I really like her. Listen to your first feeling towards the girl. Now, this is a rare piece of advice that honestly about 99% of guys should not actually listen to, because their gut feeling has not been trained. But if you are more on the advanced level, you will literally just get the gut intuition whether a girl is faking it or not. You will literally like there's things I'll walk you through right now, but you'll just feel it. So that's one thing, if you happen to be the guy who's actually advanced. But I also know a lot of guys who aren't actually advanced watch this channel. So let me break this down for you in autistic terms. So it is the standard red flags that you've always heard about, because the women red flags, because the women who are the white dress. The white dress women often show you some of these, but then will act and gaslight you to make you believe like, oh no, it's not a red flag. So any tattoos at all, any colorful hair color, mentions of sexual past. If she's ever had a hookup before, she is not a wife quality girl. Just please believe that. That's hookup, but it's also, you need to be careful of this new thing, because a hookup is like a one-night stand, right? So that's where a girl meets a guy, maybe they met at like a nightclub or a party or something, and then they had sex like the same night. The thing you've actually got to watch out way more for is the girl who gets into situationships, which she will basically tell you is a guy she was seeing. That is the worst case scenario. If a girl tells you like, oh yeah, I was seeing this guy, what it means is she was sucking his cock. She was getting pounded by him 2, 3, 5 times a week, but they weren't even in a relationship. When she mentions a previous boyfriend, you can think to yourself, okay, commitment, and fair enough, it didn't work out, whatever. Okay, fair enough. But, it shows that she's like like she was maybe going for something serious. When she mentions hookups, it's like, oh, okay, she's like that kind of girl. But the guy she was seeing, like right now, there's like something that's unpatched. You know how like there's a game analogy, like this hasn't been patched yet. So understand this. This is like part of the game of life that has not been patched. These girls, the white dress girls, mark my fucking words, right? They won't tell you about their hookups. They will tell you about their boyfriends, but that's not really such a red flag. But they will actually tell you about the guy they were seeing. So this is unpatched. As of 2025, you can ask a girl, like, oh, tell me about the last guy you were seeing. She'll tell you some details and say, oh, was this guy your boyfriend? And when she says no, and she basically said, okay, he wasn't a boyfriend, but I was seeing him, that means she was in a situationship, which means she is the white dress girl. She is not wife quality. The wife quality girls do not literally suck and fuck 5 times a week with a guy who is not marrying them. Of course not, right? Like the lowest sort of barrier we'd have for a wife quality girl is that she's got a boyfriend who they expect to get into marriage, and they've also started to have sex. It's like, that's probably like, a bit of a red flag. You want the wife quality girl. The real wife quality girl is not actually having sex before marriage. She's not, right? That's the real wife quality girl. Maybe the lenient version we can give you is, okay, she had a boyfriend who she thought she would get married to, so they had sex and then they didn't. Okay, fair enough. That's like, that's a bit of a red flag. But a wife quality girl is not having a lot of sex before marriage, especially not a hookup, and especially not seeing a guy, which basically means multiple hookups. The reason why this is like an unpatched strategy is because the hookup is something that women get shame out of, and they won't really tell you the details. But seeing a guy is something that right now, as of 2025, the May patch and the June patch of 2025, they actually like basically spill and expose themselves on this. So use that. Ask her basically like an autistic question you can ask a girl is, oh, so like when was the last guy you were seeing? And she'll say, oh, like 2 months ago. Then you say, you ask a couple of questions. Oh, so why did that end? Oh, he moved away, whatever. And be like, oh, okay. Oh, was he your boyfriend, or was that your boyfriend? And she'll be like, oh, no. This was just some guy. He got all the sex, all the fun without any of the commitments. That's not a wife quality girl. And if she acts like it, she's the woman in the white dress. Let me give you a philosophy. Look, I'm going to just tell you the truth. You know what? These women, the white dress women, are wearing a costume, right? They are basically manipulating you into believing they are good girls. So I'm going to give you something a bit controversial here. I'm going to give you your own manipulation that you can use against women, which sounds crazy. It sounds really dark, but fuck it. This will actually keep you, bro, this might actually keep you alive. Like these women cause men to fucking kill themselves. The manipulation that you can use is pretend to be sex positive. Hype her up. Hype her up. Ask her questions about sex. Ask her questions about her ex. Ask her questions and never, ever, ever appear to be judgmental. The moment you appear to be judgmental at her past, she will lie completely. And I'm telling you, like, you'd be surprised how many women lie about this. I'll tell you, in my own life, I've actually never met a girl who actually tells the truth about their sexual past to the good guy. To the guy who's like the sex positive, casual sex, Chad type of guy, girls tell the truth. Because girls are like, they're very easy to manipulate. Hype up the girl and be like, oh yeah, like tell me some like fun, crazy stuff you've done. And you tell her one, like, oh yeah, like I had sex in a park once. What have you done? And she's like, oh yeah, well I had 2 guys once. Oh yeah, baby, that's crazy, baby. Oh, are you for real right now? Oh, yeah, you're so wild. Yeah, excuse me 1 second, and I just fucking run outside. If you hype them up, if you act extremely positive towards sex and towards her sex, even without guys, like even without you, basically, she will literally expose more and more of the details. If you act judgmental towards sex, she will hide them under pain of death. So the meta strategy, like the meta manipulation, since women are manipulating you, you may as well, when you meet a woman, act like you are quite positive towards sex. Not like a crazy amount that then, you'd start to turn off the real wife quality women, but to the amount that if you think you've got a woman in white dress in front of you, act like a dumb little happy Chad and ask her questions like, oh, so tell me about who was the last guy you were seeing? When was that? And you tell her some of your stuff. I was seeing a girl 6 months ago. When were you last seeing a guy? Ask her questions like that, like you're a fucking child, basically. And the girls will literally just expose themselves. Oh yeah, I was seeing a guy like 2 months ago, but it didn't work out. And be like, oh, okay, why didn't it work out? Well, because he just didn't want a relationship. Oh, okay, so he wasn't your boyfriend then. She'll be like, oh no. And basically she's just exposed. Okay, she was sucking and fucking without the relationship. She's not wife quality. She's wearing the white dress, trying to basically manipulate you into believing she is the wife quality girl. That's if you meet one of these girls. Now, this is the part of the video that my heart goes out to the guys who need it. And if you're watching this, if you need this, then I hope it helps you. And if you're watching this and you don't currently need it, then please just watch out of respect for the guys who need it. What if you're wondering if the girl you're currently in a relationship with is one of these white dress girls? She made you believe that she was a good girl, but you've had this kind of gut feeling inside that maybe she's a bit of a hoe. What do you do? The gut feeling is often right. And I'm going to tell you a tactic that you can do here, which you might actually have guessed already. I think I even had it I've got it here, the file analogy. This is how to find out if your girl is manipulating you, pretending to be a good girl, even though she's not. And what you do You look through her phone, which I know straight away a lot of people would think, wait, that makes you insecure, that makes you this, that makes you that. Let me tell you the file analogy. Imagine you are about to make the biggest investments of your life. This is a table, right? You're sat here. You're about to make, and this is like a businessman sat here. You're about to make the biggest investment of your life. Like imagine that, there's risk. Like you're hyped up thinking, holy shit, okay, here's all the paperwork. He's got his little file there. I'm about to put like my biggest investment ever. Holy shit, this is massive, right? And let's say for a second, the businessman who you're going to invest in, he walks away, but he left his file there. And let's say his file contains the truth of whether or not this businessman will fuck you over. Imagine if in this file, before you've made this investment, this file would literally tell you if you would get an ROI, if you would get like a return on investment, if this investment would work for you. Would you look through the file? Just be honest. Imagine that situation right now, and imagine the file was just in front of you, and you just knew for a fact, like, he couldn't even see that you looked through it, whatever. Would you just trust what he says, or would you think, well, I could trust what a human says to me, or I could trust info and data that I've seen with my own eyes? Would you look through the file to confirm whether or not this investment should go ahead? Of course you would. It would be absolutely silly not to get all the information possible, especially the most vital information is not the one that someone has kind of spoken. This is like a fucking mouth. It's not the one that someone has spoken to you, but it's the real information you've gathered at source. Let's be honest. You would look through the file. I would. I think any sane person, even women especially would. I think any sane guy would. You would want the most real information possible. Does that make you insecure if you looked at the file? It may be in some ways, because if you were really secure, you wouldn't look through it. Fair enough. But like, imagine saying that this guy here, imagine saying you when you're investing, oh, you're insecure for wanting all the information. Imagine saying that to like Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is like the world's best investor, right? And it's said that he might invest in like 2 or 3 companies per year because he spends like 4 to 8 hours a day just reading information on those companies, just thinking about it. He gets all the information. Would you call him insecure because he gets all the information first before making an investment? Is that insecure? Like in some ways, it kind of is, because if you were really insecure, you wouldn't even need it. Fine. But is insecurity a bad thing then? Like, I will be the first of us to say, like, no. If this would make you insecure, then maybe we should be insecure, because being insecure in this scenario is being intelligent. It's being smart, right? Like, I think of throughout the ages how many businessmen have made an investment that fucked them over, that ruined their lives, that bankrupt them, that, eventually like ruined their personal lives as well, because they just didn't have the right information. Imagine they had an information, like a piece of paper that showed, oh yeah, by the way, this guy, he's actually quite dishonest. By the way, this guy has done this deal with 2 other people before you, which you didn't know, and they actually hate him and they lost money. Imagine if you got that piece of paper. Imagine if there was someone who said to you, oh yeah, by the way, I've got the info on this guy. I can tell you who he's worked with in the past, and I can also tell you if those people are happy with the investment they made that you're about to make. Would it be insecure? Would it be a bad thing for you to say to this new person, like, oh yeah, sure, give me that information? No. Like, I might be the first person ever to tell you, like, maybe what the modern world sees as insecurity is just wit, common sense. It's actually you forming the security. It's strength. It's intelligent. It's just data and information gathering on an investment. As you would want to take the file so you could make the right decision, so too, you might want to actually check her phone. And it sounds like even cringe saying that, because the modern world has convinced you that the person who wants to check his partner's phone is so evil, he's such an idiot, he's lazy, whatever. But you will see the true version of someone, or you might see, unless they've already been cleansing their phone and stuff. Some people do that. But you'll often see the true version of someone when you actually look through their phone and look through their messages. The girl, the woman who wears the white dress, who tells you, no, I'm not really talking to any guys. You go on her Snapchat, you go on her Instagram, Instagram and maybe any other apps, and you'll notice that there's quite literally 10 plus guys there. And I'm telling you, this is the case for the girl that you think is a good girl as well. If you're in a relationship with a girl right now and you've got this gut feeling, I promise you, if you go and look through all those apps, I promise you, I give you my fucking word, I know, just because of the state of like the modern day and also just probability and whatever, chances are you don't actually have the unicorn. And you go and check her phone and there's literally like at least a good handful, if not 10 plus guys that she's literally been talking to, flirting with, maybe even actually like physically having sex with, like cheating, since you've been together. It's fucking brutal. And should, you know, like the question might still be in your mind, like, oh wait, should I do it? Should I do it? I could tell you numerous times in previous relationships where I took the plunge, I checked their phone, and I saw what I needed to see, and I ended the relationship. And think about, if I didn't do that, and think about if I was more of like a weak Jeffrey kind of guy and I wasn't experienced with women, imagine if I ended up just for some reason marrying that girl, giving her a ring, and I would have never seen that, she was texting with a guy, she was cheating basically, right? Why wouldn't you gather that information? Oh, because I don't want to seem insecure. Is seeming insecure worth it to you to be with someone who you don't even trust and who you've got this gut feeling for? Because if you watch this entire video, chances are you have the gut feeling that actually, oh shit, like, I think she pretends to be a good girl. But what Hamza said here, like if this bit here really stuck out to you and you were like, oh yeah, if I check her phone, there's gonna be like 5-6 guys that she's been texting. You just know it, right? You know it. Then you know. That's a woman in the white dress. Because the wife quality girl is not texting guys. The wife quality girl is not stupid. She knows that the guys who would text her want to fuck her, so she doesn't text them back. She doesn't even have them on her phone. She has like a private Instagram account. She doesn't have male friends who would fuck her given the chance. You go and check your girl's phone, and for the guys who are watching this, like everyone look at the view count of this video. Let's say we've got like, I don't know, 7,000 views or something. And imagine there's like 700 guys in relationships right now, and let's say like if all of them check their phone, at the woman's phone, I'm honestly thinking more than 500 of those relationships would break up because of what the guy sees. Now, look at that probability. Like, that's not even crazy probability. Let's say 10% of people are in relationship and, 80, whatever, 70% of the people in relationship, when the guy checks his phone, he will see what's so common these days is the girl who pretends she's a good girl, who wears the white dress, who convinces you, no, I'm not speaking to guys, whatever. You check her phone, check her Snapchat, Instagram, whatever. You'll see a list of guys that she's been talking to. You'll see a list, a massive list over and over. You'll ask, like, who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this? She'll have, like, good, no, that's just this guy. That's just some guy from my old school. That's just some guy from, like, my old club. That's just this guy. That's just, oh, no, he's just a friend. He's just this. If you're at this point where you should be actually watching this channel, you're more advanced. You know that all those things are lies. The wife quality girl will never say to you like, oh, he's just a friend. That's just someone from school, whatever, because she just wouldn't be entertaining guys, right? This type of girl is so insidious because she is behaving like a hoe, but she's wearing the white dress of a wife. You could give your life to one of these girls. So I'm making this video because I don't want you to fall for this, as so many guys have done. I don't want men in our community who have been going up and up and up in life, failing and falling into one of these traps that gets quite a lot of men. In those earlier stages, it's porn and video games and extremely low quality girls. But then here it's the girls who seem high quality, but they're just not yet. You're only a little bit of time and growth away from the genuine fucking unicorns and the genuinely high quality women. Make sure you hold off for that. Don't commit and don't fall for the trap of these girls here, who are basically like glorified versions of those ones. So I really hope this helps you. And no pressure, but if you really like this kind of like advanced and quite controversial, cutthroat kind of knowledge, then I have a program that you might actually want to have a look at. You'll be able to like see the link below this video, see how I've got that link there. And it's called Library of Adonis. And inside of it, let me show you. Inside of it, we've got like hours and hours and hours of the kind of training where you will basically learn about what we've covered today with relationships and everything else. And it's a really awesome place. So If you are like one of these people who likes to study this kind of content, then the top link in the description for this video you're watching will take you right to the sales page of this. And it's super cheap, by the way. It's like $37. And it's pretty fucking awesome, isn't it? $37 a month. And I've put like fucking thousands of dollars of courses in there. Like I used to sell all these courses for thousands of dollars. And you can join for like 197 for an entire year's access, which is fucking sick, isn't it? So if you'd want to join, no pressure, but I really think you'd like it in there if you care more about this sort of longer, advanced kind of content. So just go have a look at that. Goodbye.